Affixing for Turkey Hunting 2025, William Hovey Smith. This is Hovey Smith, the Backyard Sportsman. And this is affixing to get ready to go turkey hunting 2025. And we are in the midst of it. I've been up since about 4 o'clock this morning, and we are starting to gather our stuffs. And the affixing bit is a Southernism, and it means to prepare before you get ready to go. You get ready to go turkey hunting, say, the evening before the hunt starts. Well, this is the preliminary stuff you go through. And all of us work, all of us have family obligations, all of us have various things we must do. For me, most recently, I'm in the midst of publishing 2 books. And we have done the second round of corrections now on using AI to make your own job anytime, anywhere, at any age. Which I see as a vitally needed book at this very moment. So I'm trying to push it out as rapidly as I can get it. It will be published by Authors Tranquility Press, and hopefully available in about a month, if all goes well. And like I say, from my end, we're pushing as hard as we can. On the second round, there were 136 detailed corrections described to be made in the book. About 1 a page, which looked at it that way is not too terrible bad. But it takes time to get all of these done, and I want the book to be as useful as it possibly can be, because it tells you how to come up with an original job idea and then go step by step on how to start your own business in the United States. My other thing in progress is Petrov's Escape. And this takes place in Siberia. And it has to do with a Russian dissident who gets drafted, sent to Ukraine, escapes, joins the Ukrainians, gets picked up by the CIA, and then goes on a bombing mission back into the Russian Federation. So we're working these things simultaneously. We're cleaning up from Helene. I just liberated a pear tree, for example. Free at last. William Hovey Smith, 2025. I've still got trees down in my yard. And for you who are covered up in snow right now, I've got green clover standing that high in parts of my yard. Yeah, I've got to do something about that too. But now, down to the turkey hunting. Actually, some people are hunting this very day. Georgia has a specialized 2-day season for youth hunters as well as those who are physically impaired. And this is very serious indeed. I thought I might qualify this year because I am physically impaired, but not to the extent that they describe. For example, to meet this regulation, you have to be confined to a wheelchair. You have to have amputations, or otherwise be really immobile. I'm not that immobile yet. I probably will get that way someday, but not yet, and hopefully not for a time to come. But so I don't qualify to get out there and hunt today, not even on my own land. Not turkey hunt, anyway. So, we are getting ready to go next week. Now, a lot of you have turkey seasons that are starting more or less about the same time, and you need to do exactly the same thing. I'm now looking at my shells, I'm looking at my guns, I've seen what I've got. I'm going out and target my guns today. I've already checked out. I know where I want to set up the first day. I found a big set of turkey tracks going back and forth along Sandy Road. Yeah, he's been strutting already, or trying to, or getting ready to. At any rate, he's made repeat passes back and forth over this stretch of dirt road. And that's where I want to set up opening morning. And I've already moved some gear out there. And I want to get that site ready. Now in Georgia, you may not bait for turkeys. Now you can put out feed, all right, but you cannot hunt within hundreds of yards of it, or if you do hunt where you once had feed, not for 2 weeks after you put out the feed. So I will put out some feed today and hunt it 2 weeks from now, just to get the turkeys used to an area where I have a built-up blind, and I'll use that in stormy and rainy and such weather when I need to go in a place of refuge. I have now 2 such blinds, and I'm going to build a chair to put in another one. Now, you see these calls on my desk. I have a plethora of them. As a gun writer, people oftentimes give me calls to try, and I do, and I can't take everything out at once, and I can't use everything at once, obviously. So we go through each year and we pick them out. And so to start with, we have a wingbone call that I made myself. Now this happens to be from an Idaho hen, and I purposefully shot a hen in Idaho rather than a tom, so I would have the bones to make the call. And that sounds pretty sweet. Now, in going through the other calls, we have a variety of sounds to make. This particular call is very useful because it will work wet or dry. Nice, clear, sharp call. That will travel a long way in quiet weather. Now, this is a Quaker boy, and this also is an excellent call. Younger hen. Not quite as smooth. Okay. Now, we have had that lived for years, and I don't know if she's still with us or not, but an old raspy hen, and she sounds something like this. Now that is raspy, and that's about what she sounds like. She really does. Not all the turkeys make the same sounds. They are different creatures. Their voices are different. They sound different. Each turkey can recognize another turkey by the tone of their voice, just like we can. No difference there. So, now there are slate calls. And the particular selection I have now that I was able to access, I haven't gotten into all my stuff yet, is this one. It's called a sweet hen. It's a nightingale, very lightweight, as you see. Need to sharpen this. Best yet. Okay. Now that's one slate. Now a variety of companies make a slate box like this. And this is AME calls. I have one that actually, of this type, that has a V cut in it that you lash onto your gun barrel and you pull with a string to get those last soft calls when you want to bring that turkey in real close. That's in the batch of stuff I haven't gotten up to yet. And we also have some chalk that goes with us, of course, to put on these calls that take chalk. Now the thing about box calls, they are excellent and they have a good range, but when they get wet they have problems. Hence the wet hen call. So this one always goes with me, or another of the same type, as well as a regular call. And my old standard call, which was made in 1958, that one's still in storage. I haven't drug it yet, but we will find it too. Now, guns. What in the world is this doing? For those of you who know something about guns, recognize it immediately. That's a .45 auto in a government issue holster. What in the world am I doing that on a turkey hunt? We also have coyotes. In Georgia, and the regulations differ from state to state, if you are a landowner, you may carry a pistol on your own property without having to go and get a concealed carry permit. Or, if you do have a concealed carry permit, you may carry it on your own property. Okay? And this is for coyotes, because we have them. And a couple of years ago, early in the season, about this time of year, coyotes were still running when I started early in the morning. And so they came to my turkey calls. And I killed one. But we got him. He was leading the pack. And he was coming in hot and heavy after this turkey. Well, you won't chase him anymore. But all his friends and relatives are out there yet. So it may well be, and it happens often in Georgia, that you will have coyotes come to your calls. And hence the pistol. Now, if I think about it, and if nothing else seems to happen, we'll try a predator call. Now this particular predator call is that of a wounded animal, or, well, animal in distress, let's say. It's usually described as being a rabbit, but it could be any other sounds. Now my dogs will come to this call. So they recognize that something is in serious, serious difficulty when they hear it. So, yeah, of one sort or another, I will take a predator call with me. Now, I'll also take a goose call, which I haven't stumbled around it and found yet, because we have geese, and the turkeys will often gobble at a flight of geese, at the honks that the geese make. So if we can replicate that and get a gobble, that's an excellent locator call, along with owl calls. Now, with all of these calls, I mean, it's possible to go out there with a wheelbarrow full of stuff. Not very practical, but possible. Well, I can't take all of this in my turkey vest, which I've got right back here, which we'll get into in a minute. Now, and for safety's sake, phone. I hunt by myself. Should I break a limb out there or something? You need some way to call people, say, yeah, guys, I'm hurt, come get me, kind of thing. So, take your phone. Ammunition. Being in this game for some years and being a long-time hunter, and having accumulated a lot of stuff over the years, I try not to buy ammunition if I can avoid it. I probably got something that will already work. For example, this 5-pack, this is Remington 16 gauge #1 buck. I shot the first deer I ever killed with an L.C. Smith 16 gauge using a shell from this package. And it cost me the enormous price at the time of $2.76. Yeah. These days, the high-priced tungsten shells may cost you $5 a round. And this is #1 buck for $2.75 about. So, well, we also used to shoot lead shot at waterfowl. So I have some high brass waterfowl loads in 16 gauge. And these happen to be #6 shot. Well, that #6 lead will kill turkeys every day, particularly out of the very tight chokes of the gun I'll be using, which you'll see in just a second. So we found I had about 10 of these. Well, that'll last me several years turkey hunting. Now, if you don't go out there and bust tins or shoot a box of shells during turkey season, that just doesn't happen. Now, the gun I'll be using, my main gun, starting out the season, is this. Now, this is a drilling. I was hunting with it for deer at last deer season, and now we are continuing to use it, but now we're hunting for turkeys. It has 2 shotgun tubes and a rifle barrel underneath, which has advantages and problems when turkey hunting. Consequently, the nearest I can read the regulations is that I may take this drilling turkey hunting, all right, as long as I do not have rifle ammunition on my possession. Otherwise, it is just like any other shotgun. Although it does have this adjustable sight for the rifle barrel, which is doubtful utility usually with a shotgun barrel. But we shall see. Now, one thing I've stressed and always stress is, guys, go out there and shoot your guns. Pattern them, know where they shoot. Don't just pick up your gun, go down to the hardware store Friday before the season, pick up a box of shells that are expensive as blazes, and you don't have a clue where in the world they pattern. Typically, these shells carry more than the usual amount of shot for the gauge. And consequently, they will often pattern low. So you need to aim above the turkey's head to actually hit the turkey with a full charge of the pattern. And if he's got his head out horizontal, you might miss him altogether if you shoot a very tight choke, which may be only about the size of maybe about 2 inches by the time it reaches the turkey. So people have missed the blazes out of turkeys because they shoot very tight choke guns at very close range birds. Well, the nice thing about the drilling and shotguns in general is that you have your choice of chokes instantly. I have a cylinder bore. I have an improved cylinder bore in one barrel and an extra full choke in the other. So I can reach them out there, or I can take one in 5 or 6 yards. So we have the best of both worlds here. Now, about the rifle cartridges for the drilling. Very specialized cartridges these days. Rimmed. And this is the 8x57 JR, which uses a smaller diameter round nose bullet compared to the JRS, which uses a Spitzer point. The JRS is the diameter of the modern 8mm German service rounds, although the service rounds are rimless rather than rimmed. These are rimmed and take the smaller diameter bullet. Now, Georgia hunters, some of us at least, get a survey report. And this we'll fill out as we go on how many turkeys we saw, what we killed, whether we heard gobblers, whether we heard hens, or basically our day's activity. Last year I completely filled out this thing with that many times. And we got 1 turkey. Some of our friends who are excellent turkey hunters went out and they got no turkeys. So when you see these videos out there about Bill Jordan and Mossy Oak and such, and they go out, and of course, turkeys are absolutely everywhere, and they go bang, 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 and one falls in front of the camera and all of this. Well, doesn't often happen that way, guys. Fortunately not. Of course, they only put their successful hunts on film. They're not going to put out their unsuccessful ones. So, yeah, you get some bias that way. You think these turkeys, particularly Easterns, are going to come every time you get out there and call. That just doesn't happen. Some years you'll get lucky, and some years not. When turkeys are responsive, they will come to almost anything. And when they're not responsive, they won't come to nothing. Yeah, that's true. Well, we're going to get dressed, we're going to go outdoors, and we're going to pattern this gun. Shooting the Western Super X Magnum High Brass 1 1/4 ounce lead load through the improved cylinder barrel. The pattern is equally distributed throughout the entire sheet. We have hits here, 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 and here, 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 here. There, 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 there. And up top we have here, 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 and so on. It's a little bit left. There are a few more hits over on the left-hand margin than there are on the right-hand margin. So they end right here on the right, and they go all the way to the target holder itself on the left. So a little shift in that direction, but not enough that one would know or with one shot could rely on as just being an artifact of the shot. As you can see, there are many more hits on the paper itself. The pattern extends all the way from here. And I see a few fresh hits on the other side. Some up in here that are dense little clusters. Yeah, but turkey's head was right there. Of course, he'd be dead. If it was right here, it'd be dead. And the aim was here. And cups 3 would have gone through the spine and neck. 2 here. Yeah, that would have got him. Well, how did the drilling do? Well, I think we had a good test, even though only 2 shots were fired. The first here was a looser pattern, as you can see. It is evenly distributed, however, just loose. And this placed 61 hits on the paper. And coincidentally, if this was a turkey neck, 4 of them would have hit the turkey neck. When we go to the full choke, we find significantly more hits. And this one had 92 hits for a 66% registered on the paper. And if you look down the center line at a turkey head, the turkey head was pointing in that direction, you would have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits on the turkey head and neck. But if you moved an inch in this direction, or 2 inches, or inch in this direction, or 2 inches, you would have not gotten near as many. So that 7 hits would kill a turkey. No, I have no doubt about that. But over here, where you had only 2, or here, where likewise 1 or 2 hits, no. What this means is that this is a 30-yard gun with this load. Would it perhaps shoot better loads tighter? Yes. It may even shoot lesser loads tighter. It's not unusual, since this gun is 16 gauge and is regulated for 1 1/8 ounce loads, it might shoot 1 1/8 ounce tighter than it does 1 1/4 ounce. That would not be unheard of, but I don't have those loads in hands to test. So we will restrict this gun to 30 yards with a full choke barrel. And there is one other caveat about this gun. It's an older gun. It was made in 1939. Good steel barrels, good Krupp steel, but it is not rated for tungsten shot. So don't use tungsten in this. Now you can use bismuth, but not tungsten. So if you have an old double or drilling or anything of any age on it, be very wary about shooting the new tungsten shot out of it. One other comment before I leave about multi-barrel guns. it is very unlikely that the state of Georgia will pass regulations that will allow me to take this cartridge out turkey hunting. I'm probably the only one in the entire state who hunts turkeys with drillings. And I'm only going to do it probably once, because every season I pick up a different gun. So that's not going to happen. So the rifle loads get left at home. They don't go with you in the field. Similarly, now there are many more double barrel guns with a rifle barrel and a shot barrel. Savage made them very early in 410, and several other makers, including Marlin and Remington, have produced such guns. Some of them were 20 gauge and 222s or 243s, or and so on. So again, if you've got one of these guns, no, don't take your cartridge with you if you hunt in Georgia. Now, if you should hunt in Texas, it's perfectly legal. And you could take that gun and with a rifle shoot a turkey with it legally, but not in Georgia. In California, you can use only non-toxic shot, regardless of what shotgun you shoot. So, you have to be very wary about what you shoot where, because there is no universal standard of legality so far as turkey guns go. So keep that one in mind. But we've done this bit, so next we're going to see if we can fill our turkey vest and what we put in it. In the next episode of A Fixing to Go Turkey Hunting 2, we will consider yet more gear and what you actually need to take with you to go to the field to hunt in various situations. This hunt is being done with many tools supplied by my late brother-in-law, Charles Eddings. And this is his golf cart, for example. I'm using some of his smaller tools and renovating others. Yeah, not only was he a brother-in-law, he was a friend. And yeah, I miss him. It's bad to lose a hunting buddy, but that happened. But we're going to do our best to use the stuff and take care of it and go out there and kill a turkey. But now, this is Hovey Smith, reminding you to hunt what you eat and eat what you hunt. Be legal, be ethical, be safe. Goodbye, God bless, and see you next time.